What are the various media and modes of communication? That's what we're going to look at now. Now, why is media and mode of communication important? Depending upon the audience, depending upon the message, depending upon how and why, where, what we want to convey, these things keep changing. So let's have a look at the definition of what media is all about. Medium is the means of transmitting a message. How am I going to transfer? Electronically, through voice, etc. Some media carry written words, like your newspaper where you see written words, pictures, graphics, and other media carry the voice, the telephone. Electronic media can carry both voice and words, your computer, the internet facility that we have. The message can be transmitted by any suitable medium, and each medium has its own characteristics, and the way we use it for what we use will vary depending upon how and for whom. The medium of communication is selected keeping in view the following considerations. So let us look at these considerations. Type of audience. If it is a large audience, what would we like to use? We may use a loudspeaker and voice probably, or we may use an email in an office where we want to communicate to one and all. Need for secrecy. Suppose we want to give somebody resignation letter, then the mode that I will use is a letter which I will go and give to the HR personnel. Similarly, if something about my salary needs to be communicated to me, it would be a letter in a closed envelope which only I should read. So it varies depending upon how secretive or how open the communication can be. Need for accuracy. Since it is being communicated to one and all, it's passing on a message, certainly accuracy is very important. If it is numbers, in that case, it's better not to use the voice. Written is preferable, so that there is clarity as far as numbers are concerned. Need for reliability. Anything which is communicated has to be accurate as well as reliable. Speed time considerations. Does it have to go fast or can it reach slowly? An email, though is sent fast, may not be received at the same pace. But a telegram can reach in no time. It will reach the receiver. And if a message is urgent, possibly a telegram could be sent. Today we use SMS. Cost of the medium. More and more cost-effective measures have started coming in. And today possibly one of the best ways of sending a message would be an SMS, since almost everybody carries a cellular phone. Availability of a medium. Now, an SMS can be sent if the person has a cell phone. If the person does not have a cell phone, then a telegram is the only, in villages possibly if people don't use a cell phone, then a telegram would be the ideal method. Feedback capacity. When you send a message or when you're communicating and you expect feedback, then possibly a phone would be a better option if we are trying to give some important messages and we want some answer back. An email, we may have to wait for the feedback. Yeah, but in a question answer session, open session also, feedback is possible. Availability of a printed hard copy for record purposes. If that is required, then a written form of communication, electronic form or otherwise, is just okay. Requirement of the situation. Situation may demand that something has to be done immediately, then it could be a mass communication over the phone. Okay, just like any contingency situation like a fire and so on. Intensity and complexity of the message. If a message is complex and intense, best it is written and best it is communicated in the form of a letter or a memo or a policy document, depending on situation. What are the various modes of communication? And let's look at some of the conventional modes. Media which have been in use for a long time. Some are postal mail. Even today mails are popular, but not as much as electronic mail. Courier. Courier is still very, very popular among at least business groups. Hand delivery. Whenever you order for a bouquet, the boy in the shop prepares the bouquet and hands it over to you. That's hand delivery. telegraph. I may want to send a telegram or a telex. Teleprinter to teleprinter is called telex. So these were very, very useful and common earlier, but it's been phasing out slowly, but still being used in backward areas, where still penetration of electronic media is not very high. There are media which transmit signals instantly from any source to any destination in the world by modern electronic technology. Telephones, intercom. If you want to speak to people within the office, we need not walk all the way and waste our time. We can just dial the numbers. Such facilities available today. Cell phone needs no explanation. Fax. Whenever a printed copy is required or an image has to be sent, it can be faxed from one telephone to the other, provided it supports the fax facilities. Email, one of the most widely used methods today of mailing letters. E-conferencing, a beautiful method of getting 4 or 5 people to talk together in a conference mode, where they don't have to travel, but they can all move out from their places, but they can still talk at the same time and solve a problem or handle a situation. Teleconferencing. So over the telephone, okay, the teleconferencing modes are available. If we talk to the subscribers, they will connect immediately, and then the whole session happens. Internet, boon to the modern world. Through internet, we can connect, we can have a chat. Today Skype facility is available, and distances no longer have any meaning. Computer networks, the LAN, WAN, MAN, which helps you to have intranets or internets, networks, which can be widely used to transmit or communicate. What are the various media of mass communication? Mass communication is defined as nothing but communication to many. So many to many. The messages are prepared by teams, as in newspapers, radio, TV, cinema. So newspaper magazines, notice boards in companies are meant for all employees. So if anything has to be made public, it is put through the notice board. It is also sent through email. Hoardings and billboards. Hoardings convey a lot of meaning as far as a particular company's message might be. A new cinema is in town. The cinema hoarding tells us that the cinema is in town and who are the actors and so on. Radio, news channels, where the world news or the city news are conveyed to one and all. Television, not only do you get to hear the news, but you also get to see the news, which is covered by the cameraman of that news channel. Film, a story, again a form of communication, and they normally have a social message. Internet, the YouTubes and the various other forms which help us to learn more, see more and communicate more. So in this session, we looked at the various media and modes of communication which will be useful in various phases of our communication, and this will help us decide when we do a public speaking or we are doing a reading or when we are trying to write something, what should be our method and what should be our means of communication. Thank you.